Of course, they started off even before the awards with this. So I'm gonna watch it and then I'm gonna dissect, I guess. Again.
It's a story about a world very different from ours.
'Tis a world where all people are equal and no conflict exists, much like the world His Highness once dreamt of.
To put it another way, this is a fantasy.
To wear the crown. What will become of the royal magic?
The fortress at the border was raised by a human mere days ago. You can only blame your king's weakness. Who deserves his crown? A man of proven strength.
The people of my land desire a new king, and I shall provide.
Welcome one and all to the inauguration of the tournament for the throne.
Small wonder when any among the populace might be king.
Their speeches of tribal harmony mean nothing, when every day they cheat and abuse us!
It tells of a world united as one tribe.
If only our lives were anything like the world in your novel.
Our lives are decided at birth by tribal purity, or by the differences that make us who we are.
There was a plot in his life. One I wish I'd written down sooner.
You're no ray of hope.
You gave up on your hopes, but I will not.
Now let's see what manner of story you'll weave.
Let's do it. You'll be a hero. Trust me.
Okay. So, this time in the English, thank God. Last time it was in Japanese, and of course, a lot of the story writing, as you'll see, and again, like this time, I'll just go in and like pause throughout certain sections.
It's a story about a world very different from ours.
'Tis a world where all people are equal and
so apparently
no conflict
the language
exists.
that we right here I can find the page. I had to be quick about.
'Tis a world where all people are equal and no conflict exists, much like the world His Highness once. The world His Highness exists.
So the language right there apparently is right here. Now, I believe they spoke about this in one of the earlier dev, the first dev diary that they had, like shortly after the trailer came out. So apparently this is Esperanto. Apparently this is Esperanto as far as the language. And I think LaRue has a video translating some of the text.
Much like the world His Highness once dreamt of.
To put it another way, this is a fantasy.
Your fool of a king is dead.
Go back to the jacket. This marking right here looks kind of interesting.
Your fool of a king is dead.
Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the the royal magic.
Now, this scene right here, like, we know it's going to be turn-based.
Come of the royal magic.
The fortress at the border was raised.
We know it's going to be turn-based, but apparently there's stuff you can do outside of turn-based.
By a human mere days ago. You can only blame your king's weakness. Who deserves his crown? A man of proven strength.
The people of my land.
The fortress at the border.
What will become of the royal magic?
The fortress at the border was raised by a human mere days
And then
ago.
this, like,
What will become of the royal magic?
The fortress at the border was raised by a human mere days ago. You can only blame your king's weakness. Who deserves his crown? A man of proven strength.
an advanced attack.
People of my land.
Your king's weakness. Human mere days ago. Raised by a the fortress at the border was raised by a human mere days ago. You can only blame your king's weakness. Who deserves his crown?
Wait, I want to see the menu
mere
again.
days ago. You can only blame your king's weakness.
So you have your power. You can pass. You can pass. You can guard. You can just do a melee. You can use items. And you can turn back the clock. You can turn back the clock. So undo a move that you've done, which is kind of a first, kind of in Megaton. And of course, these flower-looking symbols up here alluding to, we don't know if they're just turns or press turns. Now, going off of Megaton, if you would press turn, if you were pass, that's half of press turn. So you still have one, like half of one, depending on how it works. And then looking out down at the bottom, of course, we have auto battle, analyze, assist, and tactics and escape. Tactics, well, tactics only kind of like, I'm guessing you can have your compatriots on auto, maybe, possibly. See, that's the thing, man. But I'm thinking like you can control all your teammates, but at the same time, you don't have to if you don't want to. And this must be pretty early. I guess this is pretty early in the game or story, because if you look at the HUD UI, the characters don't have their titles or their names or their job titles or anything like that. So yeah, this has to be like pretty early. And another thing, formation. So yeah, there's a front and a back. There's a front and a rear, which kind of goes back to classic Megaton. Because if you go by Persona, like all of y'all played Persona, going back to like P1, there was a rear, well, not really a rear, it was just grid, but P1 was probably the only system that had like the grid system. P2 kind of had it, but not in the way that P1 had it, where like people could be in the back. P3 forward, it was everybody existed on one plane. It's really mainline Megaton where mainline Megaton 1, 2, if 3 didn't really have it, 4 didn't really have it, 5 obviously didn't have it. So mainly 1, 2, and if, where you had, the 6 gridded party, and you'd have 3 in the front who would obviously take the brunt of the damage, and then 3 in the back who would, do damage from afar, but take a little less damage than the ones in the front. So that's what I'm seeing formation as.
Who deserves his crown? A man of proven strength!
The people of my land desire a new king, and I shall provide.
Welcome one and all to the inauguration of the tournament for the throne!
Now, and back in the the first dev diary that we saw, we did get the mention that we were like petitioning to be king. So we were going around the ship petitioning to be king, and now we got it. It's a tournament for king, basically. By the by, a quick by the by, you can't see it. Let me move my camera. Having Yamashita from Evangelion is huge in terms of mech design. In my not Megaton game, but Megaton game, bruh, you can almost call this fucking 5-star stories a little bit, maybe, I don't know, but bruh, that is fucking huge.
Small wonder when any among the populace might be king.
The world's so active too. The world's so active. Like the movement, the way. Well, not really the way you. I mean, I'm guessing this is one way you can move. But it's just like having everything like around. And then just the side conversations, it kind of reminds me of P5 a little bit. So this is the Royal Capital Grand Trad, this area. Okay, so the UI, you have follower, you obviously save, request, memorandum, travelers' voices, menu, of course, popularity ranking. So going off of the, petitioning to become king, I guess that's where the popularity ranking will come into play. Map, obviously, and royal virtues. Royal virtues, probably, I'm guessing, your stats. So kind of like what P5, well, we saw it in the first trailer. We saw how the stats kind of looked in the first trailer. I can't remember them offhand. I'd have to go back and watch it. But you know how P5 has like the star stats, I guess, basically. It's probably what the royal virtues are. So your kingly stats, I guess you should say. What should I say to reach the public's heart? Let's promote local delicacies. Let's more effort in tourism. And you give speeches. You give speeches, of course.
Their speeches of tribal
You managed to win the hearts of the people. So what did he say?
Their speeches of
I gotta remember that one. Local delicacies. You managed to win the hearts of the people with local delicacies. Remember that one for the game in 2024.
tribal.
So this must be aboard your ship. And back there, I think that's Hulkenberg.
Harmony mean nothing.
Yep.
When every day they cheat and abuse us.
It tells of a world united as one tribe.
If only our lives were
Heisme. Fennec looking creature.
Anything like the world in your novel.
More choices. Cooking. So we didn't get this last time, but there is cooking. Red grass versus Badoo. Curative coney roast, coney stew, holistic white fish platter, critical meatballs, obvious, steadfast stew, kind of obvious, but probably defensive, precision fermented ribs, stale black bread. Wow. So for red grass roasted Badoo, the spicy dish will keep you eating and sweating, restores 400 HP and cures burn for 1 ally. No, I'm getting it obviously is for battle. So you could use it in battle.
Our lives.
I would think some of it you could use like outside of battle too. I mean, I'll probably use it outside of battle just in case. And you can do cooking in terms of multiples. So if you had more meat, if you had more ingredients, you can probably make more.
Our lives are decided at birth. By tribal purity, or
So during this conversation, that's probably like a stat that went into you, a royal virtue.
by tribal purity.
And then the map. Map looks really good. Let me move this. Move right here. Mortira, a city on the main road between Grand Trad and Port Brawlhaven. The castle looming over the city center is an incredible sight to behold. Apprehend the real kidnapper. Ooh. Yeah, and weather conditions too.
Or by the differences that make us who we are.
There was a plot to the
Man, they make this city look fucking huge.
life. One.
Okay, this is kind of what I'm like really, really hype about. Active dungeons that like aren't just like dare just to be there. Like shit's gonna happen in them. You know?
I wish I'd written down sooner.
Like I'm kind of low key like hype about that.
One I wish I'd written down sooner.
You're alright.
Because nothing really happened in 5. Nothing really happened in 5. Nothing really happened in 4 in dungeons like that. I mean, mostly that was kind of like a P5 thing. It's kind of like a P5 thing where, you know, the dungeons were active, you know.
Wish I'd written down sooner.
Go back. So again, this is Hulkenberg, the knight.
You're a ray of hope.
You gave up on your hopes.
Jump thrust deals medium physical pierce damage to one enemy, lowers their defense for 3 turns.
up on your hopes, but I will not.
Now let's see what manner of story you'll...
And of course, this is the Bond screen, so social links go, as it were. So yes, this is a social game. Again, going back to the original ReFantazio trailer when they were just first coming out as Studio Zero, and they said it's not Persona, it's not Shin Megami Tensei, it's, you know, I mean, really? I mean, not that I'm mad at it, but yeah, it's spiritually, this is kind of a Mega 10 Persona game. Spiritually. Like, all the signs
Let's
are
do
there.
it. You'll be a hero. Trust me.
But yeah, again, a little tidbits, little new tidbits, again, in English. Again, I would want, LaRue, if you're watching, I would want you to translate the new text that we just saw. But yeah, again, like I said, like, this game has the soul of a Mega 10 game, just in a fantasy setting. Like, Hoshino and staff really implanted themselves in this game, even without having the full game to see, but knowing, like, looking at just what we've seen so far, it's not Mega 10 Persona, but it has the spirit of Mega 10 and Persona in it. I mean, hey, we did see Mataru Kajit in the last trailer, things like that. Potential press turn system, you know. You know, more social activities outside of battle. And again, really, this was something that, you know, Persona didn't adapt until Hoshino came on board. Like, Hoshino, not really until he came on board, until he kind of headed the Persona games. That was kind of his thing. Like, from P3 onwards have been social games. And had that aspect. P1, P2 did not have that aspect. So again, Hoshino's really inserting himself into this game, and it shows. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So yeah. There will of course be, let me hit escape. There will of course be a special live broadcast on Monday, with Natsuki Hanai, who plays the main character, and other voice actors. I will probably be up early to watch this, and more than likely, last time, God bless her, God bless Ray for coming by. She didn't even have to, but she, like, I brought her on, like, Ray, can you translate just in case, you know, they had it in English the entire time. So yeah, more than likely this special broadcast will be in English as well. I'm kind of hoping. We'll see. But yeah, I'll be up to watch it. Yeah, this coming Monday. Yeah, that is the not really analysis. It's not really an analysis. We were just picking at the new trailer. Let me know what you thought. Anything that caught your eyes, or anything that you want to see potentially from Metaphor ReFantazio. Let me know, leave it in the comments below. And thanks for watching, and probably see you in the next video, probably about, if we find any more tidbits in the special broadcast, we'll do a video on that too. So please look forward to that. Hi. But we will see you in the next video.